Okay, we're recording. So, last time you guys managed to get the fallen tree. I believe both the rangers, Doc and Baldurin, managed to apprehend one and take the lives of two other brigands who managed to get inside and were threatening the family of
Local
the
general
local
storesman. Yep.
provisioner. You've gone in the next day to talk to the constable, and he was talking to you a little bit about the general goings on, la 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 la. Hasn't really given you much to go on, unfortunately, because there isn't that much to go on. But the last place, the last location he dated to was about 2-3 days ago, around about a day and a half outside of town.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much where you are. Got the calendar. Got the
Our cleric had gone off. No, he wasn't a cleric. What is
she.
she?
She always is she.
Yeah, I can't remember what she went off to do. She went to talk to someone at
Priest.
the local shrine about getting
yeah.
access to any of their texts and something.
Yeah, that's what I was meant to research was the which legend came from. Where are we again?
Fallen tree.
Yeah, there's someone throwing
There were
knives
a
at your
couple.
place then.
Yeah, my husband's putting the dishes away.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering, that's all. It just sounded like he was throwing knives into a wall or something.
Just because I live in the block doesn't mean it has to sound like it.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I was picking up from last week. I was gonna talk to the priest if they had any checks on the local legends about what we could find.
Rather than go for local legends, go for history.
Well,
Something
we've
that they
gone for
probably
local legends
would
at the
see
moment.
as.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Right. Make a roll here. I need you to. Oh, hang on. The actions. So, are you just straight up asking him? Excuse me. Are you just straight up asking them, Vera?
Yes, this is also though I did make a
There was, I think, a
donation.
4 GP donation or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember him.
Still within that. Okay, that's all sweet. Okay, so we'll make one more roll just to see how favourably they view you. Do you have any charisma bonus at all?
No.
Okay, and I'll give you a slight adjustment for
The parade.
sorry, no, it should be taken off because the higher it is, the worse it is. I believe, as soon as I can find the Brilliant table again, just have it. That's clear. Here we go. So that would put it instead on that. They sort of say perhaps in a couple of days when they're less busy, they might be able to look, spend some time to talk about that sort of stuff. But they are actually on a bit of a mission at the moment, travelling out to the various farmlands to look in on the various farmers, what with the brigands out there and all that sort of stuff. They need to tend to the flock, the furthest members of the flock.
Okay, I thank them for the response. And ask if they required help of any sort whilst I was here. I do have an intention after this, by the way.
You do have a what, sorry?
I do have an intention after this.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, they'll always welcome you as they do their rounds to help out with various flock, but that's going to take away from the group, isn't it? But
Yes.
That's what they could use the most of.
Yeah, so I would then move back to the group and tell them what I've heard. A couple of days I could get some information about because I've forgotten why we came here. I do apologize.
Well, we were looking into the possibility of brigand treasure and
Yeah. So then
Well,
I would say
local
the group, hey,
bandits.
look, the local church, they're going to be out with helping the flocks and whatnot with the brigands out there. And maybe if we considered helping them, it would be more favorable for us. It's only a couple of days, he says.
which way are they going out? That's the all important one.
Oh, crud. I didn't ask.
Mhm.
I point in multiple directions and say that way.
Mhm. I take that as the universal sign for I'm a Muppet. And say, yep. So, I've based on our conversations with the constable, I'm coming up with there's a few possibilities with the way that there's red. Like, I'm assuming that there's no one around that could possibly overhear us. We're probably in the tavern or something. Sort of keeping it quiet. Yep. There's possibly a few possibilities for how this group is, keeping under wraps / doing what they do and getting away with it. The first is that they have an inside man. Someone in town is literally feeding information to them, which is possibly a little bit harder, given that that person would have to be someone that goes out of town, into town, out of town, into town a lot. And with that many traders and things like that, farmers, it would be, hard to spot such an individual. The second option I thought of was that these, it's like a, what would I call it? Walking Dead, the Negan scenario, and that there are actually many smaller cabals, all with miniature heads calling themselves the Red Mask, operating in the area, all belonging to one head gang, and therefore tracking down the real Red Mask could be a real fun job. Or 3, there are actually multiple groups, operating in the area that, on any given week, their leader is, allowed to call himself the Red Mask, so that, it constantly looks like they're moving around madly. And could be multiple groups of brigands out in the woods, forming a small army.
How many of us are there?
4, 5.
6.
6 or
Isn't there?
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 5.
Right.
Is there stories of them being in multiple places or going all over the show? Is there? Because I don't remember.
They seem to strike here. Then next week they will strike here. They will strike here. They seem to have multiple either hiding spots, or like I say, they could be.
A week between strikes isn't that hard to do.
Isn't that hard to do and to cover up? But that would mean that they have multiple encampments that they keep changing between.
Which makes sense as brigands.
Which makes sense as brigands, but also, how do you hide that many encampments? Because I'm sure that they've probably searched high and low for them and never found the remnants of one.
I know that splitting the group is never the best thing.
No, don't even suggest it.
Well, I am going to suggest it.
Okay, you go that way. The 4 of us will go this way.
No, so my suggestion would be two people stay in town with the intent of gathering information, and the other 3 head out with the church, because I can obviously find out where they're going. Head out to the church if it's in the right direction, and source information out there.
Okay, so what you're saying is 3 go with the churchies to the farms.
Yep, and 2 stay in town with the intent of.
Okay, I nominate myself, and who else wants to stay on the safe brigade with me, and we'll let the suicide squad go off.
I do think there's one aspect that we're overlooking.
What's that?
Which is?
The last recorded information we have about the Red Mask is that they overtook a caravan.
That was heading to Zendrin.
Yeah, they took over horses and they took on carriages, and they also kidnapped a few
That's
people.
not easy to take and hide. That's the one.
Yeah, so it should be relatively easy to
somewhere on this trail should be a fairly obvious fight site, and where they fucked off site, and flight site.
Yeah. Plus the other thing, they took the female hostage.
They took the female hostage.
And if we wait too long, I'm wondering whether or not she's going to become a little bit more of a liability than maybe she is at the moment. And if there's ransoms or if there's potential for rewards and stuff, we're going to get the greatest level of profit if we manage to find them and get everything back.
Okay, how about I go back to the church if I have enough time in this day, and find out which location they're going to, and then come back and we can make a decision.
What's that piece before?
I'm of the firm opinion that we need to just pretty much probably head out on our own to look.
Although the local farmers and whatnot might be more inclined to talk to us if we're heading around with the priests.
Yeah,
but if not going in the right direction, I mean, it becomes a bit tricky.
Okay, well, I will make haste back to the church, and speak to the priest there and ask which direction they were going in, because obviously I'm a part of a group, and depending on the direction, we may be able to help with whatever it is.
Well, he's the guy you're talking to is a bit brisk with you. He's making lots of preparations, getting ready. They're heading off. They're going to be they're circumnavigating. They're starting from the trail, heading to Sendrin, out for about a day or two, and then they're going to go in an anti-clockwise circle until they get to the other end of the trail, this side, here, and then follow it back into Fallen Tree.
Right.
So it could benefit us.
It could be an effort for us to go out with them.
And that's going to take roughly 4 or 5 days.
But like I say, the problem is that are they going to like it if we suddenly offshoot if we find something?
Didn't we? But
I think we don't tell them. Like, sorry, I'm not there. Well,
okay. Again, I think Infowars response and come back to the group.
Yeah.
And then I also make a suggestion, like when we're discussing heading up along that path to Sendrin anyway, so we're
tagging along. We're not going to sign in with them. We're not going to.
We can tag along.
We are just going to tag along. Yep, we'll give them some level of cover. We're not going to be, beholden or, beholden or, employed by them. We are literally going to tag along for the safety in numbers. And then, if whatever, info we manage to find, if we find the site for anything like that and we want to shoot off, we're going to shoot off and leave them be.
Cool.
Yep. Which will mean that we'll need to make sure we bring our own food and things. We won't be relying on them.
Yeah, well, we've always got my cooking.
There's the option to stay back in the village.
Off to that provisioner.
So you're staying back then?
Okay, well, guys, Vera, you know that they're heading off within the hour. So you're going to have to move.
Get our shit and move.
Yep. So I'm going to go grab some wine. I'll be right back.
In game or out of game?
Out of game, I believe he's referring.
Right.
So there's a couple of things I want to do before we duck off. I want to go and grab some. If we've got enough, well, I think I've got enough cash to grab some of that Greek flame stuff, the flaming oil.
This
place is not going to have that.
It's very, very rare.
Oh, so they wouldn't have it here.
This would not be here. Much like the war arrows. You don't find them unless you're in a sort of a
wartime
center or you're in wartime.
Okay. But would he have a bow and then just normal arrows?
I was thinking, could I find someone that's willing to part with a small lockbox and some oil?
I've got
the age-old trap. If they raid us, pardon?
You can go to provisions if you want to. To answer your question, Gareth, that bow and arrow, you could go to probably the blacksmith and see if he's got anything in the arrow line that he's willing to trade for.
Oh yeah, I'm just looking to straight up buy a bow and arrow. I don't think my sling was very effective last time.
Sling's still better than nothing, and it's cheap.
Hmm.
Bow and arrow's quite expensive.
I'll make a roll and see if anyone here is. You ask around and see if anyone can sell you one.
Alrighty.
And the only problem is it's probably going to cost you a bit more. And yes, indeed, actually, there's quite a few people. So that's going to bring the price down. So top of my head would be handy. Oh, okay. So do you have the price there of a short bow?
30 gold or something? 35 gold?
Okay. Sorry, just need to get one of these things. 30 times. Okay, someone's willing to sell you their short bow for 31 gold and 2 silver pieces.
So I'm going to stick with my sling.
Right.
Am I with him?
I don't know. Did you go with them, or are you getting ready to go join the priests?
I'd be getting ready to go join the priests.
Okay.
I reckon the bandits would probably have bows anyway, so if we manage to kill a couple, I might be able to steal one off them.
Awesome.
So that'll do. I'm comfy with the sling for now.
No, you don't mean steal. No, it's not steal. It's the conquest of war, the rituals of war or conquest. So, yeah.
Or looting the bed.
Well, no, I was wondering if I might be able to sneak up and steal it and then use it to kill them.
Looting the bad guy.
That's not a good thing to do. That's tantamount to be bad. And who would do that? Yeah. Okay, so if no one else is going to go anywhere and you're all prepared to go on this,
I'm just getting my own gear.
I'll spend as much time as I can. I guess I'm prior to Timora because it's during the day. And I will bury a copper piece. Just so you know.
Yeah.
So Vera, what kind of cool benefits do we get from your god for all the prayers and the offerings and all that kind of stuff?
Well, the only way, there's a lot actually that benefits. However, if you want to join, there's a sign-up sheet. Honestly, I can't tell you.
Or you could sign up to Doomathorn.
I can't.
You pretty much just ignore him and tell him secrets, and he's really happy with you.
I can't tell you how being with Timora and Saloon has helped me, but whenever I find myself in times of need, I've always been able to pull through. And I'm saying I'm a lot, and I've always found a way. Whether that is with Timora or Saloon, there's always a way to do something. But if you would like a more in-depth conversation, put me aside sometime and we can have a little conversation about it.
Just to make one point clear, Gareth, I think I might have misrepresented. Vera is a multi-class character.
Yeah.
A fighter, magic user, multi-class character.
Not a cleric.
The dwarf is the cleric.
Yeah. And if you really want to know how Timora's prayers are helping the group, it's not so much as every time I see Vera bury or do anything with a copper piece, it sort of is only enhancing my wallet.
Yeah, but that would mean that you got lucky, didn't you? I don't know this. So
No.
You got lucky.
Right.
That's it. If I see it, then I can get away with it.
Is anyone going to a provision or a blacksmith to buy anything else before you try to?
I've still got plenty of food, so.
Is there much capacity on Bastard the donkey? Can we chuck some wood on him?
We've still got 4 blocks of wood. The only thing is, of course, is the donkey is quite slow. So if we take the donkey with us,
You mean I'm gonna have to walk?
Oh yeah, you're already a dog slow person. Particularly
Sorry,
he who wears splint mail.
I can't imagine these priests are going to be hoofing it very quickly.
They'll have carts. They'll
Who are
be
they,
taking
priests too?
food and.
Oh, we can chuck
They
the
were
donkey and the
priests of
dwarf
the
on the cart.
agricultural god. We can't remember his name. Yeah.
Wheat
Green
sheep or
thumbs.
something. I don't know.
They
I
always.
would have normally said
Yeah.
Obadiah, but Obadiah is
Oh.
Greyhawk.
Yeah, wrong one.
Yeah, and it's not Maliki because that's the forest and the hunt.
You guys do your preparation stuff, and in that time, hopefully,
Yeah.
I found. Do we have a quicker way of finding out who they are? Yes, they do. Good stuff. What's needed? Hold on, maybe. Chauntia, possibly.
There is a farming god, and you think I can remember what their friggin' name is?
Sylvanus, Oakfather.
The Harvest something or other.
No, not here in the book. So Chauntia might be a default go-to. Just bring her up. Man, very plain.
Sorry,
Chauntia, Great Mother. Yep, portfolio agriculture. There you go. Chauntia.
sorry, my
Chauntia it is.
PC's restarting, so I'm using my phone.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Right. So, in
the
terms
ones
of
that
things,
faith, dress simply, in rose of brown. Those with high ranks denoted with belt lace, gold thread. That's about it. They tend to wear an open front brown cloaks with more standard garments, like tunics and trousers, etc. And it doesn't tell me all the other special things about here.
Sorry, who's
Oh.
this we're talking about?
Yeah,
Chauntia.
yeah, it does tell me what they do. So they don't wear any metal armor. It pretty much tells you what they are. And they like to carry around scimitars and clubs and things.
They're druids.
Is it, yeah. Is it agriculture?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the agricultural god.
Chauntia.
Chauntea. From memory.
Right. So you catch up to them as they're leaving, if you bought your stuff. They sort of turn and look at you, rather puzzled. What? One of the guys says to Vera.
So I've missed something here.
Well, you've chased after them, you've caught up to them, and he turns around and says, "What?"
Nothing. We just figured, more friends on the road makes, for a
you
more.
want our protection? Okay.
How many of them are there?
2.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2, and we want their protection. Try again. We figured you look like easy picking.
Why do you think, sister, that we go on this? We have no trepidation about what we'll face.
Exactly, neither do we.
So if you want our protection, that's fine. He just turns around, they carry on trudging on.
Okay. That's awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my wife asked me something.
Yeah, so do you all stand there and stare at them?
No.
Eventually decide to...
I'm just going to follow them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. Just in the back of my mind, which is not being mentioned to the Rangers, man. In the event of a fight, I'm just going to let them have it.
Finally.
Oh shit!
Finally.
Didn't take long.
Finally.
Damn it! And I didn't even get to put in my next line, which is, "As we walk, Steve, I've got my bow in hand."
Uh-huh.
I always have my stuff.
Yeah, I always got my bow ready.
So it'll be there.
I'm currently picking through the flowers,
so
looking
much
for cool stuff, so I'm
fun
not paying any
that we're
attention.
going to have in combat. and that it's going to be cool.
A lot of them.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a look. Okay. Let me see the number of them. Come on, into that page. Oh. Getting there. Sorry. There we go. Number.
3 dozen.
Hardly any. 18 of them.
18.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's only a few.
So can I get who's in front?
One of the rangers.
That'd be me.
Okay, me. Give me a D6, please.
D6.
Yeah. Don't roll a 1. Or possibly a 2.
Oh, well, shit.
It's a ranger doing it, so
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I'm pretty sure it was only a 1 on a D6 that they got surprised on.
Yes, unless the monster had something to favour it. So, suddenly, off to your left, Ranger. With cunning camouflage disguise, you suddenly see a flurry of movement, a mass of small, ugly bodies. Now, this is in the middle of the day, so you speak what languages, Rangers?
I just speak Common and Elven, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, and the other one?
Just having a look. 1 sec.
Yeah.
I've got elf, gnome, halfling, goblin, hobgoblin, orc, and gnoll.
You'll recognise these lovely little things as goblins. They're nasty little things, but why the hell they're attacking under daylight, you don't know, because they don't do terribly well, so they must be quite desperate to attack at this time.
Desperate or pressured?
Desperate. I just need to make a roll.
Does anybody know where the languages are on the character sheet? I can't find it.
What you do?
I think I put it somewhere, but I can't.
Yeah, I know. You open up your character sheet. You go to character sheet. I should say, sorry. You, I think, go to. It's a really weird place. Is it journal? No. No. It's really a weird place. That's what I remember. It's like you go into something and then you go somewhere. There you go. Under proficiencies, language.
Proficiencies. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't put it there. That's great.
No. So you might want to. I'll close it. You can do that. Whatever you need to do with that. But don't forget reading the player's handbook. There will be some languages that you'll assume to have learnt as your racial bonuses. So, Valdoon, are you an elf?
Yes, I am.
You might need to read up elf in the languages that they start the game with. Because it's only if you get a high intelligence that you then get to choose extra additional languages. But I think you start, like Lincoln, your dwarf starts with several different languages, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm just looking that up now.
Yeah, okay, everyone looked it up. If you're human, you can only be guaranteed to speak some sort of human tongue in common. But I think almost all the non-humans have the ability to speak a couple of languages. Except perhaps halfling.
Limited by intelligence.
Yeah. So while you're looking that up, what? Okay. So you guys all stare agape. Suddenly one of the druids just spins around. And I'm going to have to open that book.
And by 6.
Casts Entangle.
I was about to do that as well.
What a
we're surprised, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
That's alright. No,
I tried my hardest.
That's okay. It will make for an interesting, fun game.
Yeah, I've only got 2, so I'll just do Common and Elven, I guess.
Yeah. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, boom! One moment. Can't say for definite that they are.
Did you still need the languages for elves?
Yep, it would be good to tell them.
Yeah, I'll just paste it into the chat once I find it.
Oh, okay. You can see the saving throws for these little buggers. Where are we? Saving throws. Here we go. Yeah.
It's on page
Oops.
28, FYI.
They're all entangled. And with that, the priest turns to him and says, "So you need our protection." Turns on and carries on walking. And he's like, "Don't worry, it'll disappear soon enough and they can go and bother somebody else." And then he turns and speaks something into them. So those of you who can understand Goblin, he's basically saying, if he or his fellow brother encounters you again or hears of you hurting, harming, or interfering with anybody in this part of the country, we will track you down. We will use your stomachs as water skins, and we will decorate the outside of our shrine with your heads. And then he walks on. So they're all struggling and all sorts of things, but they just leave them and walk off.
Yep.
And they obviously don't have the strength to break free.
Yeah. And I'm of the same opinion, just to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah,
sounds
as
good.
well.
So you keep on walking. You started sort of mid to late morning. So the druids will start speaking with each other, and they'll be sharing some food as they walk. They don't seem to be wanting to rest. I don't know if you guys feel that you need to rest or anything.
Don't want to look bad, so I would choose to keep going.
Okay.
Hop off the donkey and give the donkey a bit of a rest.
Okay.
Unless
So-
it's going to slow us down way too much.
And you are going to start falling way behind. They'll be travelling at about 9 inches, which is the speed of the donkey, I think you calculated.
Cool. In which case, I will hop back on the donkey.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, bastard, you're going to have to deal with this.
Mhm.
You're
So-
such an ass.
No, he's a donkey. Anyway, so you move along. They sort of every now and then they'll walk off. I guess you just spend that time resting or something. They'll walk off over into some nearby cottages that are like about a quarter of a mile away from the road. They'll spend some time doing whatever they're doing there, and then they'll come back on. They seem to know where they're going, and they carry on moving. And they visit 3 or 4. By the time it's getting dark, they visited about four or five farms, and they would be approximately. If I can get this all to do its little thing, would be approximately about here when you finish. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So they start setting up for the night.
I offer to cook a meal.
They look at you with rather concern.
I'm standing behind, shaking my head.
I'm scratching mine.
Why do you need a fire?
I didn't say me with the fire. I just said making. Oh, I said I'd cook, not make.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I attempt to make a meal using ingredients that I already have.
Are you starting a fire?
No.
Okay. They apparently got some sort of vegetable matter they're eating. They're quite happy. Yeah. So I don't know what the rest of you are doing.
Dry rations.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Is there any particular reason why the druids don't want us to light a fire?
Yeah,
it druids?
and it also signals where you are. Smoke.
Well, in this case, light because it's getting dark.
Yeah.
But the fact that fire can damage if
Nature.
applied incorrectly, because at certain times of the year they will burn off parts.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Mm.
But obviously they don't feel that this is the right moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just do the rations as well.
Yeah.
I do seek to set out a few snares.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Makes sense.
Okay. I'll get the roll in the morning post just to see what you get.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, well, I'll set up a perimeter. Maybe? Wait, no, I can't. I don't have the thing I need. Yeah.
Are you guys taking shifts or just sleeping?
Yes.
Yep, we're gonna
Yeah, we'll
take a
take
shift.
shifts.
Yeah, hook me up.
So the normal ones, I can't remember what they were required you to do. 2 at the start and 2 at the end, I think.
So
One at the start and 2 in the middle and 2 at the end.
I'm at the end, so I can
Yes.
sleep the first part and then do my prayers to both gods.
So
Goddesses, sorry.
you're
I'm in the
morning
middle.
be studying your spells.
Mm.
Yeah, you're in the middle. Okay, so
Yeah, it was one of the two rangers was in the middle. I was on the first with Lincoln, I do believe.
Right, and then the other one would be with Vera.
Mhm.
Rightio. So the night goes through with nary a problem. You wake up a little bit cool, a little bit shivery, little bit of ache. You did have a couple of, I think, 2 or 3 days of luxury, all that sort of stuff. So your body always gets a little bit of a annoyance that's been taken away from that. So it's just reacting a little bit to the sleeping on the cold floor, on cold ground, all that sort of stuff. But you sort of the priests, the druids, sort of doing their morning prayers and stuff, which is what wakes you. They've already packed and look like they're ready to go after their prayers.
Cool. I'll do. Obviously, I would have done my prayers in the morning.
I'll check my snares.
Yeah, I'll check the same.
Okay, let's roll for your snares.
So, do we wait for your roll or do we roll as well?
Just give me a second. You can roll, but I'm going to average it with my roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so make your roll first, Wolverine.
Oh, 1 critical success.
Yeah, except it's not. But okay, you do find a ferret.
Ferret.
Caught in your snare.
Can't say I find ferret very good eating, but
You
meat
can
is
release
meat.
it if you want.
Does anybody else not like ferret?
A weasel.
Is it a weasel? Is it?
It's a form of weasel.
I'll let it go.
Okay. Can you give me a D20 roll, please? Okay. Right, yeah. Thank you. It does try to bite you as you let it go, but it doesn't actually do any damage to you. Okay.
I thought rangers have automatic.
Cool. I don't have the things set up that he does, so I'm just going to make my roll. That's 4 under for me.
Cool. Okay. Yep. You also do find something, and probably whatever the ferret was chasing. So I'm gonna say hedgehog.
Oh, then yeah, no. I will like I say, with my gloves, let that thing go as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not worth eating.
Mm-hmm.
So and then reclaim any parts of the snares that can be reused.
Oh yeah, no, they'll be reusable.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, what are you doing now?
Trying to play catch up on the.
Okay. They've already started to strike out as you guys sort of picking their last bits and pieces.
Yeah.
They'll get around about 40 or 50 odd yards ahead of you by the time you guys are ready to move on.
Yep.
So you're within sight, that sort of stuff. Moving through the day.
Can I roll a herbalism check while we move?
For.
I just want to forage for some various bits and pieces, anything that looks healthy.
Okay, so foraging means that you are going to slow down a little bit, but you can because you're only moving at 9, and I don't think you're heavily encumbered, are you?
No, just
so you're
light.
normal. light, so you can do that. You can move down to 9 and still be able to catch up with people because you've got the 12 full. The other thing is, while you forage, it does become you're more intent on looking for that stuff than keeping a watchful eye out for anything else. Just saying. But make your roll. And I'll change my thing to that. Cool. Not quite. Okay. You spend some every now and then you'll nip off the pathway investigating various plants and that sort of stuff, looking for various herbs or various other plants. By the end of the day, you've got a couple of straggly looking plants that sort of on closer look really aren't what you're looking for, with no actual value.
All right, well, it was worth a try.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Oh, there goes those lines again into the wall.
It's not me because I'm on mute.
Yeah, but it keeps on coming out. Oh no, someone's slapping someone. Okay. I'll get that to the other roll. So this day you move out. You move through the first part of the day. It's been quite a pleasant day, although you can see some dark clouds sort of moving sort of southeast to northwest, but it's not going to come near you, but it's right on the edge of the horizon sort of thing.
We are obviously keeping our eye out now for where the caravan would have been attacked.
Mm-hmm. You guys keep on moving. There's nothing super obvious. What is around you are, and you sort of notice it that on the left hand, the southern side of the road, seems to be where the habitation points are, and little short or tall stone fences have been built up. On the northern side of the road, any farms and any sort of those sort of fences sort of disappeared, petered out towards the end of yesterday, and now sort of more wide. Although these lands are cultivated, you can see that there's rows of things. There's not a hell of a lot of protection given them. So and you could easily go in, and if it was laden before, you could easily pull it off. Unfortunately, it's not. It's still growing. But that's sort of how it's set up. You move along. You stop for lunch. You have lunch. You set off again, and about an hour and a half into the rest of it, the druids again are popping off to the side, checking all the farmlets as they come and go, giving you guys a chance to rest. They carry on walking, but on the north side, there's an obvious sign of something that's gone on because there's a whole lot of broken flat plants. There's some burnt ground. Yeah, there's a few broken bits and pieces on the ground. And it would sort of indicate like a two caravan sized caravan, which is what you were looking for. So you've got a decision to make now.
Okay, I will say that this is probably where we're going to separate off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you just tell yourselves, not the druids.
We'll let them know that we will be moving
pretty
off.
much without turning around, they just hold up their arm and wave and
Yep.
keep on moving.
Thank them.
Mm-hmm.
Give them the one finger salute back. Yeah.
That's when the older guy returns it.
Tell them that we're just looking. Oh, sorry, guys.
No, we're not just looking.
Work.
Whip.
Right, well, this is presumably the site you actually wanted to come out to see.
That's it.
There's no houses around here. You can sort of see there's a farm that you left around about 2 miles back, and the next one would be about a mile and a half in front.
I
So it
set
doesn't really
the
sound like we're likely to get much information out of the nearby farmers or anything about where they've gone.
what
Too
I'd
far
say
away?
is our best option at the moment is Vera and Wolfgar stand guard. The rangers start seeing if they can find tracks for things moving off. I'm going to
Start tracking.
utilize what stupid knowledge that I might possess in the way that I would deal with anything,
Mhm.
to sort of work out exactly where attackers might have been hiding as the caravan came up, and see if they've left anything behind or dropped anything.
Well, I make a like a quip like, isn't it lucky that we found it?
Isn't it?
It's a big open gaping area.
Isn't
I wouldn't call that luck. If we had passed this by, I would say that we would have to have been blind.
Isn't it lucky? Oh wow.
So trekking checks.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just adding up all the penalties. All
How many
bonuses.
days? How
okay.
well
Nice and easy.
like,
I know what
So
that means.
how deep those
Okay.
carriage
Rightio.
tracks can
Yep.
dig in
So,
if they're
Doc,
wet ground.
You found some tracks that are leading away from the site. It's heading roughly in a norwesterly, not a true norwesterly, but more of a northeasterly movement.
Okay, up
Yeah.
here somewhere.
Yeah, kind of that direction. Yeah.
Should I roll as well?
If you want to, you might be wrong. You corroborate, and you're both sort of looking, and I don't know if you can find out number and stuff. Give me a second. Right, okay, well I'm gonna take some of that ruling away because you had a pretty hefty penalty and you both made it, so if you guys can give me another tracking roll, please, a flat tracking roll. No.
Oh,
Okay. So you guys aren't aware of the number involved a lot, but you don't know whether that's because they were caravan people or brigands or whatever. And can you please give me well, actually, you won't need to. As you move through slowly, trying to avoid the tracks that the rangers are trying to find and following,
Yeah.
it's quite interesting. In amongst the planted seedlings, then they're only perhaps 2 or 3 inches tall. Ones that have been disturbed in the rows. But it's quite interesting because in the rows, in between them, there have been holes dug out, and there have been somebody's put something over them so they can't
Over the
see
top,
it,
so they can't
obviously.
be seen. Yeah,
So
the old dead pit.
probably they've done that. Not very deep at all. Would be quite shallow. Would be
They just lie down, put a cloak over the top,
or something
jump out and assault. Yep.
Yeah. So that's probably, and you can sort of count around about 24 of these such holes as you go around the whole area.
2004.
Wolgar and Vera, can you please give me a D20 roll each?
Done. 8.
Oh, yeah.
19, sorry.
Okay. What is your wisdom score, Wolgar?
Wisdom. 14.
14. Okay. Oh yeah, thank you. Just as you're just searching the area, Wolgar, you notice something on the south side of the road that you might want to tell you're going to go and look at, or you might want to wait or something. I don't know. But there's something odd on the other side of the road.
Who's the closest ranger?
No, they're both in the field now, sort of trying to find the way of the path.
Anyone nearby?
Vera?
Me?
Hey, Vera. Do you see that shiny thing over there?
Nope.
Sweet.
How about you show me where it is?
Yeah. Hold the bastard.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go for the donkey and walk on over.
Okay. It's another one of these holes really that Zoroaster hasn't actually talked to you about, but it's basically what you're seeing within the side. And what you can see is there is a length, possibly about 3 or 4 feet, of wire.
Where does the wire go?
It's just coiled and moves around a little bit. It sort of looks like it would have gone across the road somewhere.
Carriage wire. Hurt the horses.
It's a coppery colour wire.
Cool. Oh, well, I'll grab it out and.
Looking in the hole, can you give me another wisdom check, please? This hole here is roughly the size of a child. Not a grown man.
Well, that's weird.
And it's not a dwarf.
There's hobbits afoot.
It's far too narrow for a dwarf.
Wait, about the size of those goblins earlier?
No, bigger than them. You'd guesstimate somewhere around about 3 footish zone. Goblins, I think, only go to. Oh no, they're 4 foot. Sorry, but somewhere around about 3 foot. Small child.
The bandits have kids working with them, or something weird is afoot. Oh, sweet. I'll see if Vera knows what the wire is. If not, then I'll poke around more around the bushes and see if I can figure out.
No brush actually. It's just sort of rough, sort of gutted, sort of like a drain or something like that. But it's just you just happen to see this contour and sort of went and looked at it and found this. But there doesn't seem to be anything else around it that you can see that's obvious.
What about on the other side? Is there the other half of the wire?
If you were walking across, you would intersect one. If you carried on walking and you're sort of walking towards Zoastria, you'd actually connect with her on one of the front holes of Zoastria that you were there, but there's no wire there. But as you look really closely, you can actually sort of see a track in the dirt of where this wire would have laid across. And showing Vera on the way. Vera, can you give me I guess the closest thing would have to be an arcane proficiency roll, please.
13.
Yeah.
I don't know what it equates to. I can basically.
Well, arcane would come off. Not arcane, sorry.
Intelligence. Spellcraft.
Spellcraft would be your pardon. Intelligence -2. Yeah.
No, I'm over.
Okay. This reminds you of something that you've seen in another wizard's laboratory, but you're not quite sure what it would be used for. Because, I mean, there are different metals that can make wire, but you're not really remembering what the hell this one is made for.
The other one to us would be Zoastra.
So am I seeing a trench or being pointed out looking at a small trench?
Wire and
copper coloured wire. It's around about
3,
to me, 4,
copper wouldn't stop a horse.
Yeah,
it would
3 to 4 millimeters thick.
Multi-stranded or
a single piece, which would take quite a bit of artifice.
Well, yeah.
If I try and break it, how strong is it?
It's still pretty strong.
Is that malleable?
It does take a bit twisting and bending and twisting.
If it's copper,
it will come apart eventually, but it takes.
I'm not trying to snap it. I'm just trying to brute force pull it apart.
No.
Yep.
Sweet,
in which case I shall keep it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we?
How long was it?
Can we keep the
4
copper?
feet.
4 feet.
Can you keep what? Sorry.
No, what he did. Can we keep it?
He's keeping it. Yep.
Well,
so
could be part of a snare. Could be part of a. I think it could be part of a spell.
snares tend to be a little bit more tensile, so they're made of a harder material. This is probably copper, which is a lot softer.
Can I tie the
And it
donkey
was
up?
found in a trench, was it?
Well, he can take you over and show you. It's another one of these holes, but it's only made for someone or something around about 3 foot tall.
Well, I guess if it's made out of copper, it could also conduct lightning.
Vera, what were you saying? Sorry.
Oh, can I tie up the donkey?
There's nothing to tie it to.
Get over here.
Hobble it.
I kind of want to go through the caravan and see if there's anything left.
There's nothing. It's a couple of broken pots, and that's about it, sort of thing.
If you drop the donkey's range,
contained is long since drained away or evaporated. Rangers, can you please give me another wisdom check each, please?
Is that for tracking?
Just the wisdom check, please.
Just a wisdom check. Okay.
And I'll do. Okay, the two of you have sort of been talking while you're sort of not aware of all that sort of stuff. But you've been looking and following. You're about 50 feet away from the group. And it's kind of interesting because the track starts to take a very broad arc to the right. I don't know if you want to travel further and try to see if you can see which direction it ends up going, or if anything changes or anything. But you do notice that it's headed up sort of in a west-northwest direction, and now it's taking a real big turn to the right. Yeah.
Should we ask the group if they want to keep following the track?
Hell yeah. But we've got to keep it slow and steady and keep our eye up. 2 dozen enemies.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys that are still on the road pack stuff up and start to move over to where the rangers are?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yep.
So, in your marching order, because your activities have changed, am I taking that the rangers are in the front trying to collectively keep the trail going? Where are you folk behind them?
I'll give a sort of a 20-foot set of distance, and then I'll just be there at the front.
Vera?
I'll be second or third.
To third, yeah. How far away from Zoestria are you?
20 feet.
Okay. And Wolga, are you next to Vera, or are you coming up from the rear?
But we're quite spread out already, so I'll be next to Vera.
Okay. Left or right, just so I know.
And bow in hand, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah.
And staff.
Yeah.
What do I have? I have a hammer, I think.
Yeah. Are you on the left side or right side, Wolga?
I will walk on the left-hand side because my shield will be on my left.
Okay, cool. So
and I'll be holding Bastard's reins.
So you're moving very well. I guess it's better to move slowly because it's going to take you longer to go where you need to go, but the rangers are going to need that to make sure they keep the track.
Exactly.
Yep.
I figure if the rangers can track at that speed, they're amazing.
Yeah. So guys, basically the day will continue, and I just need to know. Because I haven't asked for any, no one said any change in spells, so it's the stock spells that you had taken at the start of the last one I asked.
Entangle and heal.
Yeah.
And one enlarge or catapult.
There was a detect magic.
Read magic with one in town.
Yeah.
Wait, so is it for me?
I
don't have
because that was the last spell you memorized was in town. It was a read magic.
Yeah, read.
Okay, so you've got to read. At the moment, you've got to read magic. Okay, so what you find, rangers, as you're sort of tracking, it even turns even tighter than that. So you sort of end up going
Back towards
starting to
town?
move slowly away from the road, but you are actually traveling more on a truer sort of east-southeast vector.
Back towards town.
No, because you would be moving away from town. You'd be sort of cutting across several miles to the northeast of town. So you travel for the rest of the day, going really slow because it cuts you down. You get to the end of the day, there's been no encounters. After a wee while, the field gets left behind and it does change, but there is sufficient numbers of them to actually maintain a track of sorts. So you are following that. The only thing you don't want to happen is rain, because if anything changes, and you're going to have to make another save a roll tomorrow to see if you can pick up the track after you sleep. So with that, I guess it's time for you to decide when you want to, how far do you want to push on before you stop.
I'd rather not be pushing on into the dark.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
No, we want to go off the trail well before dark.
So what we will do
Or are
is
we
we
gonna
will
camp
set
in the
up.
middle of the trail? That's
No, God, no.
pretty
We're not
stupid.
going to. Yeah, I was about to say that's just silly if they've been using it. So we'll camp sort of probably 150 feet off of it. Again, cold camp. Oh, pardon me. But before we move off the trail, I'm going to put in a couple of marker pegs that I should be able to spot. Hopefully, to give us a better chance of finding where the trail was and getting back on it.
Mm-hmm. Are you to the
Right.
north or the south of the trail?
The north.
Okay. Wario, so your standard shifts.
Yep.
Approximately how far off the main normal, like the actual trail to Sendrin, would we have come? Like
Are you talking like in a northerly direction?
in a northerly direction, yeah.
Or above it, sort of thing, because it's a parallel
Yeah.
on the slope. You'd be guessing you're around about 3 miles, roughly.
Okay.
So by the time you sort of would be roughly parallel to the city, you'd probably be anywhere between 5, 6, 7 miles. So it would be hard for anyone to see you.
Yep.
Okay, the night goes through without any issue. Spells for the day, folks.
Catapult.
Okay. And that's the only spell you get. And dwarf.
Same as normal.
Okay. Rightio. So in the morning, Rangers, I need you both to conduct another tracking. And hope you roll real low. That's a really good number.
That's also a really good number.
You walk up, you pick up the pegs, give them to the rest of the people. It's okay, we don't need it.
What'd you put them there for?
Yeah. You do notice though that there is some rain clouds getting closer, and you're hoping that you can follow this as far as you can before it starts getting destroyed. But because you've got such great rolls, can Doc please give me another tracking roll and take 1 off it? Okay, not this time. And Voldoon, give me another tracking roll. Okay, Voldoon.
Great roll.
Nice.
Yeah, Voldoon, you sort of, they've changed and obviously moved into a different sort of terrain. You are guesstimating that there are humans and probably a halfling in the group. And there's all up you getting somewhere between 23 to 27, 28 individuals.
Okay. I'll convey that information back to the group.
Yeah. The other thing you can tell is that the reason that probably it's easy for both of you and your fellow ranger to follow these tracks is because because they have sunk in quite a depth. This is not a normal pacing sinking. This is, I'm carrying some weight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So they've dogpiled everything onto one wagon, or
No. This is all foot. There's no wagon wheels here. All foot. The other thing.
Was there any sign of the footprints of their prisoner, or is
No,
that possibly
but
the half?
Doc, as you're moving on, you actually come across a small piece of ribbon. You don't know if it's valid, if it means anything, but you might want to pick it up, and it's just a piece of red velvet ribbon.
All right, can I pick it up? I'll show it to the rest of the group, and can I wisdom roll or anything like that to see if it's something that would be more likely to come from a person from
Who knows?
Syndrome? Or?
It's who knows, but whether it's probably not something you're going to be able to find out that way. It's probably indicative. I mean, men wear that sort of thing in their hair, but it's just a thing to suggest that probably at this stage, at least, the woman was still with them.
Okay.
Is probably more the. But you can make a roll to see, and it would be an intelligence roll. Okay. You're not aware of any specific culture or practice that says these sort of red velvet ribbons only come from syndrome or anything like that. Probably what you do know is that it would be probably more likely found in one of the major cities. Syndrome's quite small. Yeah, which would indicate someone who had a bit of money to actually go there, get it, and give it to someone out this far. Vera, sorry, you were saying?
Right. Could I roll to know what? Would I know where it came from?
It doesn't have a made in on it.
Wow.
What's the fabric made out of? Is it cotton? Is
Velvet.
it silk? Velvet.
Red velvet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. About 4 inches long, about half an inch wide.
Okay. So we're pretty sure that that's our captive leaving us a trail.
Possibly.
Or trying to.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep it going, but let's keep it slow, steady, and keep our eyes open for problems.
So basically, up until
I'd love to know what heavy got on that friggin' wagon. Oh, on foot. Why they're so heavy? Either that, or they're heavily armored.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only other reason that they'd be sinking in heaps.
Is it just one set of footprints, or is it all of them?
Most of them.
Okay.
From what Doc could see. You keep travelling till about 1 perhaps, and then a light rain starts to settle on. So you'll be able to keep the track till about 2, and then you're going to have to make another roll, both of you.
So as the rain falls, I make a silent prayer to Saloon. Yeah, just because.
Okay. So if I can get both rangers to give me another roll, please. Okay. Unfortunately, Doc, you lose it. Vorduin. You believe you've got the track, and you guys decide whether you want to follow it or not.
Yeah,
if he's pretty sure he's got it, then
keep going.
Keep following.
Okay.
Still, like I say, listening
I
out
look
and trying to
down.
keep
I don't
out for
see
anything
nothing.
that's
Let's follow
strange.
you.
That's right. So I've got it here, guys. Come on, let's go.
Okay, righty-o. You continue. Can I get both of you to give me another intelligence check, please?
Oof.
Okay, Doc. You find some very pale blue, thin cottony, linen-y sort of material. Just a small bit ripped off, would be no bigger than like 2, perhaps 1 inch long and 1 inch wide sort of thing, but it's been ripped.
Okay. Well, Vera is the only chick in the group, so I'm going to ask her, is this something that you'd
What?
wear with the red velvet ribbon?
Thanks. And I'm even from your race.
Well, I'm sorry. Can you rephrase
Wait,
it?
you're female?
I can understand how the dwarf would get it wrong.
Oh, you're not my type.
Oh, there you go.
Look,
Not your type. And the
Amazing.
barmaid wasn't your type either.
all I want to know is whether or not it's fashionable to mix this red velvet with this blue material.
Okay, no. You're right. I wouldn't have a fucking clue about fashion.
Oh, there we go.
However, I would say, a red hair tie with a blue and white, dress of some sort pretty much would scream, backwater farm girl. Although kind of fancy, given it's made from velvet.
Are we thinking that it's another deliberate thing left behind?
I would say so.
Good.
As the thief of the group and knowing how I would leave things behind, yes.
All right.
What fabric is the blue material made from?
Some sort of cotton linen-y sort of material.
I think we're on the right trail.
Cotton linen
made from hemp. It feels like burlap.
Yeah. Cotton linen is quite a refined fabric, which means, again, it's something that probably would have to be made in one of the cities or imported into the city.
Yeah. Let's put it this way: if it was one of the thieves wearing either their pants and not their armor, it would probably be made from burlap or something a lot coarser.
Would it cost a lot of money to get these fabrics?
Well, it depends. The velvet would cost a hell of a lot more than the other fabric.
I say to the group, what if the person that was taken was of like royalty or
they'd be wearing something heavier than that. They'd be wearing silks and things. Let's put it this way: they would also
like an upper middle class.
I'm guessing that he who paid for all these goods to be delivered to Fallen Tree, the merchant family that brought them back and was supposed to be, getting them to Fallen Tree, it's probably one of their kids or something. Their kid, their wife, their daughter. Something like that. Unfortunately, because of course nobody was really either left alive or, the survivors were possibly, back in Sendrin. We don't know that. We're just hedging our bet that,
You do know from the story that no survivors were found.
That's right.
And that they couldn't find a woman that was supposed to be travelling with the caravan, and they assumed that she's been captured.
Or it's a trap.
Well, that information came from the constable. So
I think it would be a pretty elaborate trap as well.
No, as in the fabrics and stuff, they're like...
Yeah, they're being left behind.
Yeah.
It does seem to be torn as opposed to sort of cut.
Not cut or
I still say we keep going.
Yep.
Okay. Just like I say, just remember we've got to keep ourselves a lot, because the number of people we're dealing with is literally 5 times our number.
Mm-hmm.
We need to keep it definitely surprises of the utmost for us.
So by the end of this day, you would roughly be placed at about this spot here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, about there.
Mm-hmm.
So at night time, you are going to sort of see the lights of the township.
Yeah, I'm more keen on trying to keep my eye out for anything else that would be strange, like lights not of the township.
Right. The rain has got a bit heavier, so I hope you remember to bring something along that's going to keep you dry.
Winter blanket / cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll set it. I've got a small tent that I'll set up.
Right.
I've got a winter blanket And I'm pretty sure I've got a tent. And if not, I guess I'm sleeping with somebody else. What else is new?
How big's the tent? How many people
Remember,
can fit
it's a
in the
one-person
tent?
tent, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's like 3 feet wide, and
can't see
then
it.
you've got the you string a line or a pole in the middle, and then there's an inverted V, and that's it. No end. It's just protects you from mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, they're one-person jobbies.
I've got a small tent as well.
Yep.
So we've got like 3 tents, so we can just shuffle them around as we do the watch rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So at least you dry or semi-dry while you're trying to get some sleep.
Give me a second.
Okay, so with that, visibility is down a bit, folks. So whereas it is difficult by the time you get to, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, should we set snares in the direction like away from town, or just in case?
Well, it depends. When you set snares, you're only going to be catching one thing, which is animals.
Oh, okay. Do you think you should set a snare?
Am I trying to catch a person?
Just to, I don't know, just in case.
No.
Okay.
It's not worth it in the wet.
Alright.
Okay, so are you changing your shifts in any way, shape, or form?
The problem is that they'll sneak up close enough to get on us anyway if they see us.
Okay.
Who's got a night vision or infravision?
I've
Yeah,
got
I do.
There's a few of us.
I think every single one of you has some sort of enhanced night vision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we probably don't need to.
Yeah, I think that we're a zero human group.
Mm.
I'm half human.
Yeah,
but
but
you
that
think you
still gives
still
you
get, yeah.
improvision. We've got 3 elves, a dwarf, and a half elf.
Okay. So you set up, I don't know, do you set up in a sort of a triangle, your 3 tents touching each other sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we set up back to back, so only had 2 tents because there's like 5 or 6 of us? We would then only need 2 tents, and whatever person is on, like, the watch switches out with the person that's going on watch. Does that make sense?
No.
No, because there's 5 of us.
Oh, okay. Well,
You can't fit more people in the tents. They're not. It's impossible.
no, sorry. I'm just having a moment.
The only way you could ever create anything bigger is not to have such a tent, but instead have a giant piece of canvas that you then somehow pole up as a massive tent.
No, that's what I meant. So, if 4 people are sleeping, right, and 2 go on watch, and
3
then
and
the
2.
next, and then the next 2. Sorry, say it again.
3 and 2.
3 and 2. Sorry, I thought we had lots of 2.
It's 5 people, 3 tents.
Yeah, don't worry.
And there will
So
be
on my watch, there'll be somebody that's getting wet.
Yep. But I'm sure he can cuddle up to the donkey. Woolgar. Because I don't think Woolgar's got a tent, I'm not sure.
No, Woolgar actually just
I
get
have a
under the
winter
donkey.
blanket.
Sleeps under the donkey.
Yeah.
On the blanket.
Nah,
How
I'll
fat
sleep.
is bastard?
Pretty fat, but not that fat.
Yeah.
So I shall lie up against the donkey if the donkey's laid down. If
Okay.
not, I'll make the donkey lay down
Right.
and lie up against my nice warm donkey and go to sleep.
Okay.
Well, I'm not surprised that you want to lie next to an ass.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Hey, it's good ass, okay?
Yeah. It's good ass. Apparently. So you are going through your watches. As I said, visibility progressively gets worse as the night goes through. So the 2 of you who start in the evening, you can sort of see the twinkling of the lights, and as you get towards the end, there's enough rain and sort of cloud that it becomes harder and harder to actually see further and further. So that gets very blurry until you sort of can't really make it that distinct. By the time, hopefully, you all wake up in the morning, all nice and partially damp or really damp. Wet.
I was about to say, nice and showered.
Yeah, it's cold, it's damp or wet, it's a miserable day. The
And
rain is
the
coming
dwarf
down now.
smells like wet donkey.
No, only his winter blanket does. He doesn't smell like anything.
If the judge, it's all good. Just go to wins.
So he, no, not he. So you guys are getting up, and it's gonna be quite difficult. It might almost be impossible, but the way the Rangers have been rolling, it's possible that you can actually get this. So you're going to have to make another roll, guys, to try to pick up the trail.
Yeah. Before we roll, is there anything that we can do to help it out a bit?
Not really,
Nope.
because it's now
It's been
environmental
fucked.
factors. It's getting older and older, more wear and tear by the weather, and it's raining.
And I was about to say, and now it is a mud slush pit.
I know the feeling of those half a bottle beer people.
And there you have it.
Nice,
Oh.
good work.
Okay, Doc.
That's a
See,
good roll.
is that less than or
you need
equal
a,
to? So
an
wouldn't
award
mind.
for the best possible tracker that the group has ever rolled upon. You do
Dog.
find the track, which means you're allowed to keep it for this day.
Oh, excellent.
So I have a quick question. So
Yeah.
is mine less than or equal to? So is that
Yeah.
still a successful roll?
It's
Yeah.
still
Okay.
successful, but unfortunately, because of all the penalties, it's a
Penalties, it's not. You're basing it on if there was no
okay.
penalties. He has
Yeah.
rolled a natural 1, which is the best roll he can get
fail.
against
Which
that.
means always a
Pretty
success.
much. There's the tracks. You're pointing at a rock. Yes.
Yes.
But you can't
Actually,
leave tracks on a rock.
Yeah,
I can see them.
He's pointing into the air, and he can still see the tracks. He can see the air eddies around where they move, sort of thing. It's an airy gift. But anyway, he's accessing it today. So you continue to move, and Doc, since you're the only one, I'm going to ask you to do an intelligence roll for me, please, with a penalty of 5. So it's a d20 minus 5, and you've got to get your intelligence release.
+5. +5.
No, it's harder.
Yeah, he wants to, if it's a d20,
Sorry,
he wants
your
to add 5
intelligence-
to make it harder.
No, your intelligence goes down by 5. So roll the dice
Yeah.
for your intelligence.
Yeah, so there you go. 4, 11 minus 5 is, what, 6?
6.
So he still beats it by 2.
Rightio.
Whoop, whoop.
Halfway along the day, you do find another piece of torn material. At least you've proven one thing. You're on the right track.
I was about to say, I think we're on the right track.
Yeah.
These
It
rangers
might
are
not give you much
masters
more
of their
information,
trade.
but you know you're on the right track. So you're now moving in a direction relatively straight at the forest ahead of you. So you are sort of moving in this direction, but from here, you'd be down about here. You'd be about here. So about a mile or so, perhaps 2, at the end of your day. I'll just go make some encounter rolls first. Always just miss. Okay. So, do you want to persist and go the extra distance to see if it does enter the forest? Or do you want to stop here and run the risk of losing it and not knowing whether it goes in the forest or goes around the forest?
I would say we keep going and see if it goes in.
I
Agreed.
bet we keep going.
Okay. You continue. It's getting really hard, but you rolled a 1, so I can't really default that. You get to the edge of the forest, and it's going in. This presents a really good good outcome because now you've got other ways to track with brushing past, breaking small branches, other things that are a bit more protected from the rain. So marking out roughly where the track is, you follow it in a little bit, perhaps 10 feet or so into the forest. Mark out where it is, and I don't know whether you want to go in deeper into the forest or you want to stay out of the forest tonight. There's definitely more cover the deeper you get in.
It's
And
raining.
it's
Let's be
dusk.
in the forest.
Yeah, I say
So you've got
Yeah,
quarter light
yeah,
at the
I
moment.
think so.
Do you want to stay here or do you want to move in a bit deeper?
Well, let's stay just on the eaves for tonight. We don't really want to walk into anybody's snares or things like that in the dark.
So tonight, now that you've got trees, you can set up your tents differently. you can lay out the 10 by 10 tarp on the ground and the 10 by 10 tarp strung across some branches and stuff. So
And
you
use
have
it more as a
bigger
bivvy.
space. Yeah, a bigger space. Which gives you then the third one to be used by the people on shift if you want to. And there's less water coming down.
Hey, Albert the donkey. Hey, bastard. Looks like we get covered tonight.
Well, we can, yeah. So, is that how you set up your camp?
Yep.
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 Okay,
Yeah,
so
makes
there's
sense.
Still trying to keep
defensible-
it a little bit camouflaged from anyone that's
Yep.
coming.
There's no
dead onto us.
defensible thing like a fallen tree or anything that can give you a back to rest against. You are open on all sides. So you keep this quite low, so the tent might rise to about 2 feet above the ground. So, but you put a little bit of wing on the top one, and the water runs off away from the rest of the canvas. So it's only those on the edge that are going to probably get a little bit wet, but it's a lot better than last night. And those of you who are on shift can use the other one just to keep over yourselves to keep a lot drier. And just find spots to sort of sit on and then look perhaps in opposite direction or something. So, in the forest, there's only one thing I've got to tell you. In the forest, every single hour group I get to roll for encounter.
Hey.
And it goes up to a 2 and 1, not a 1 and 10. A 2 and 10, not a 1 and 10. So, first shift. This would be Zoastria and Wolga.
Wolga.
Cool. Should you survive that encounter, everyone's going to be fine. Let's roll and see what it is. Let me find that wonderful little sheet and find.
Not a re-encounter is
Temperate forest.
Not a fucking green dragon.
Temperate forests.
Don't tempt them, please, Andy.
Pardon? Don't tempt fate.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sorry, I've
there's
already
only
been
green
killed
dragons on this table.
I was about to say, yeah, I've only been killed by white, red. I don't think I've been dissolved by black.
The blue.
No, Phil's the only one that's been taken out by the blue.
Didn't the pretty blue birdie kill us?
No, that was a wyvern, and that
Oh,
was
okay.
only Jizz that died to that. He got stabbed and carried off his dinner.
Oh,
Yeah, he deserved that.
Okay. Well,
He deserved that. He was the one that called it down on us. Oh, look at the pretty blue bird!
Yep.
Yep.
I was about to say, I still
His
like it
brother
when we.
came
I
out
was
and
about
was
to say
like,
when we picked up
"Jizz
his
was the
cousin. My
smart
cousin Jizz was the smart one. Like, oh fuck.
Go that 3 intelligence.
Can I get
4, I think it was.
roll
No, Jizz had 4.
It certainly wasn't as good as George and his pet frog, Cramit.
Yeah. D6
Has anyone
for both
told
of
that man
you.
that frog is purple and dead?
You gonna tell George that?
No, he was like strength 18 bar 90 something.
And very attached to them.
And very attached to Cramit.
Yeah. Okay.
If a man tells you to pet his frog, you pet his frog.
Alright. Waiting for you guys. Roll D6.
Roll
sorry,
a D6
I can't hear. What are we supposed? What are we
No,
doing?
it's me rolling a D6 for surprise.
Oh, okay.
And
both
surprise!
and Wolga.
And me? Cool.
Yep. Okay. You are neither surprised now, and because you both, I believe, has 60 feet vision. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
that's right.
So
I'm not drow, so I don't get 120 feet.
So I don't think. I'm trying to find encounter distances.
So unless we heard them coming, or it coming, which, as we've already said, probably not, it's when its heat signature hits our vision that we probably...
I'm going to say
Unless
60 feet is when it's discovered, because I mean that's probably when you'll either your heat vision or your great vision will.
Well, like I say, unless I for some reason heard it coming, but
No. Okay, you are both aware of a very large, and by large I mean something around about 9 feet tall.
Oh shit!
That's a troll.
Creature moving, I believe both of you would be aware that it's a creature, not a humanoid, and in all probably likelihood it's some kind of bear.
Phew.
So, well,
Okay.
no, not fuel, because depending on which one, some of them are highly aggressive.
Yeah.
And it seems to be coming in your general direction.
Yeah, it smells us. So I will slowly and carefully dig my way into my backpack to get a torch.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I'm not. I've just realised what we have in our party. I'm going to boot awake our rangers, like carefully, not like in panic. I'm going to awaken our rangers and say, "Hey, I think there's a bear coming this way. What do we do about that?"
Do we have any
Ragnaros?
picnic baskets?
No.
Hey, boo boo, picnic basket. Don't think so, buddy.
So we can't see at the moment, can we?
You
But if
will.
you
I'll point
got-
it out to you, and it is coming
Yeah.
closer. So remember, you can only sleep in leather armor. So
Mine's magic though.
Nope.
magic doesn't help you. You can only sleep in magic, unless it's the magic that allows you to sleep in the armor.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Well, then you're okay.
I have here studded magic armor allows you to sleep in armor.
Then you're alright.
Wow.
You can wear it.
Oh,
You're
wow.
lucky.
I'm stood here in my undies.
Okay,
Pretty
well,
much.
yeah. Like I say, my armor is like black, and for some reason gives me +5 on all my skills, including the ability to hear things coming.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to
Well,
vote
like,
Volduin goes
how
and
does
says
armor
hello
do
to
that
the
shit?
beer.
What was that? Sorry.
I'm going to vote that you go up and say hello to the beer.
Yeah. So can I?
I'm going to vote that both of you come up with a plan of, hey, looking at it, can you tell what type of beer it is, and how would we fucking deal with it?
Do we kill it? Do we scare it off? Do we light
Is
it on
it
fire?
one that is it like they'd be
Is-
scared of fire, or is it going to fucking rage and beat the living shit out of us?
Do you want
Alright,
the
so-
Rangers to try to pacify it, or do you want?
Yeah,
to
that's
try
what I
to
was
scare
gonna
it?
ask.
Pacify it was the option I was thinking of. Thanks.
Yeah, I think
The
we go
bear
with
to be
that.
gone without fighting if we can, because we
Yeah, I was
don't
gonna
want
say-
to be worn out for the bandits.
That's it. I don't want to have to
So,
blow
saving
all of our.
throw, saving throw. Come on, where are you?
I mean, admittedly, eating a bear is a good thing, but
Unless you're there.
They're very tasty.
they're very tasty.
Yeah. Okay, that level there, it needs that to pass on your level. So, let's see what we
It's
roll.
a turning check with a hideous modifier.
Yep.
You're
So
fucked.
basically, it needs a. So both of you, you get a +1 because of your level. It make it harder for it to save. So it needs a 16 to save, to not be interfered, like not be pacified by you. Or to move on.
16 and under, I'm guessing.
16 and up. Saving throws
Ooh.
always above.
It's
Remember?
saving throws are always high rollers, yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have a good
Okay.
shot at natural
So,
creatures not giving a
Voldoon,
fuck.
I don't know if it was Voldoon or whether it was Doc, but one of you managed to take possession of its attention, and you've managed to animal whisper it into a much more neutral and and it will eventually move on without investigating the group further or becoming aggressive.
Hey, bear,
So
fuck off.
Is this? I'm talking out of character here. Is this a situation where you try and befriend the bear, or you just ignore the bear
just let
and
the
let it
fucking
go?
go. Let it go.
Basically, what you're trying to do, you are trying to shift its category one way. You want to shift it to be much more friendlier.
Okay.
To you.
I just thought, is it
You wanna
worth like
shift-
Do we
trying to?
regale them with
Is
the
it
story
food?
of the
Food.
person
It's
that
not
then
food.
tried to do it the other way?
Okay.
Try it again?
Yeah. In the example, Bjornhelm
Okay, well-
approaches the beast, whispering soothing words. DM rolls the saving throw versus rods for the creature, modified by his level. The bear's normal reaction is unfriendly, but Bjornhelm's presence reduces this to neutral. The party waits patiently until the bear wanders off to seek his dinner elsewhere.
Yeah. So,
So
but
it actually wasn't actually. It was only indifferent, so you moved it to friendly. So that's why you got it to move on really quickly and not.
okay. But if
But
you like,
let's put it this
for
way.
instance, you wanted to like try and get it to
Raise it.
follow you, would you just roll something else, or can you not do that?
You would probably do that and offer it little tidbits of food and encouraging it to pick the food and follow you.
But yeah, there's no way it's going to just love you overnight.
No.
Oh,
It would take literally months of you doing it, to get it to come close enough and think of you as a friend. And
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I'll give the bear a little bit of my rations.
unless you were an actual like,
Druid, or the bear was
druid.
your animal companion.
Mm.
So what are you saying? Sorry, Volden?
I'll just give it some of my rations.
You don't have to. It'll move
I'll
on.
just-
Just your reaction was so good, you didn't have to do anything else.
I just thought I'd just do it anyway.
Up to you. Okay, you give it some food and you make some sort of soothing words and encouraging grunts and movements to move it on after that, and it does. Which means, sorry, Volden.
Oh.
Forgot.
We've had someone try and double influence a creature into something, and then fucked up the second roll and turned it from neutral into hostile.
I thought because it's already neutral, you already give it some food and then it's on the walk away anyway. It doesn't work like that.
Remember, if you fuck with it, it could do either. It might think you've got more food. It might think you are food.
So, Voldoon,
can I not give it food then?
Remember the number one rule: don't feed the wildlife.
Done the food thing. Don't worry, you've done the food thing. Collect 420 XP.
Woo!
This is a moment where only because it was a singular, either you or Doc could have done it. You just stepped up first. That's all. Yeah.
How much was that? Sorry.
420.
Because it's only a ranger can claim this because no one else has that ability, and you have overcome the food thing.
Is that 420 each or separate?
No, just Voldoon. You are the one that solo handled the problem.
But I didn't roll. I didn't roll that.
No, you didn't because he jumped in first.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and like Andy was saying, Gareth, if you try to second do it to try to think you can improve it, it can backfire hideously in your face. And any good the first person's done, you can undo really quickly.
Oh, I ain't going near that thing in my guts.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Although, mind you,
Trouser Snake
might have actually sent it off. Who knows? We don't know about your hygiene regime. So, how are we to actually?
Well, hang on. If he's down in his undies, I'm certainly getting an eyeful of that.
It depends on how much the undies reveal. But anyway, enough of that.
I mean, if it's only his undies, if he doesn't have a top on.
Yeah. You settle down. As I said, the rest of the night goes through. The next day, unfortunately, because you've lost it, Voldoon, only Doc can try to pick up he knows what he's looking for.
Yeah, okay.
But the cool thing is, Doc, in a forest, the penalties change. So just give me a second to recalculate.
I'll read you my morning prayers.
Yep. Everyone, spells and all that, just yell them out what you want to do.
Catapult.
Do some morning push-ups.
I cast don't do dumb shit.
Here's the good thing, guys. If you have a chance to track a 14 or greater, you can move normally at 3/4 speed. Really cool.
Awesome.
If it's sorry. Well, that's interesting. 7 to 14, it's half. 14 or greater, it's 3/4. I'm not quite sure how that 14 sits in two tables. But anyway, I think that's 17 to 13. Let me have a look here. Okay, 3, 4, 5.
Is there any way that, like, even though I can't make the roll, can I support his roll or something?
No, there's nothing.
No. Okay.
You just don't want to ruin anything that he could locate.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's 4. Okay, you get only a Yeah. Okay, I know what your penalty is. So make your tracking roll, please.
That was a practice.
No. It
Oh,
wasn't. Sorry.
damn.
Okay, you look around, hopeful
We've
to
lost
find it, but no. So
Be a pass through here
Voldoon,
sometime.
you've got one chance, and it's an extremely low set of numbers. You're going to have to sort of move out to like 50 yards away, looking all around the whole area, trying to find any chance of finding it.
Okay, I'm gonna pray to my deity
Yep.
of hunting and tracking.
Yep.
Maliki?
Maliki?
And hang on, no. It's
Sylvanas.
Solonor.
Hey Jade,
Sylvanas. Yep.
can you please pass me the bottle of wine that's in the fridge, bottom right corner, third
Okay.
shelf?
No. And as you notice, I did roll a 2 for an encounter.
Mm.
So while you're out there, unfortunately, it's going to be near you, whatever is there.
It's that bear again.
Oh dear.
No, I thought everyone loved a good beer.
Of course they do. What's not to
Depends,
like
as long
about
as
it?
it's not a full 6-pack.
Hey Steve, do you have a 6-pack?
Sorry?
Nothing.
Do I have a 6-pack? Yes, I do. It's under my
was
other
about to
one
say-
ad. My
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't
You've
have a
got a
beer
layer of
gut.
armor.
I was about to say, yeah, I don't have a beer gut. It's armor for my rock hard abs.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that must be a difference.
Yeah.
thing.
I don't have a beer belly. It's a fuel tank for a sex machine.
A keg. I've got a one ad. It's called a keg.
It's like it's not male pattern baldness. It's a solar panel for a sex machine.
Now you're stretching it. Oh crap! Neither one of those are in here. So you're lucky. It is neither a creeper vine nor. Oh, hang on. I look under vine. Nor a hangman's tree. Because if it's hangman's tree, you'd be in real big trouble. But I'll have a look under vine just in case.
I don't know. What was the name of the tree that basically split itself down the middle and just chomped on you?
Fallen tree?
No, it had what it actually had was it looked like a little rabbit sitting on it or something.
Did a Tribblewith jump into its mouth?
I don't know if it's trouble with. I think he was pulled into it. I don't think he jumped in. Somebody jumped in as an I'm going to stab it on the inside thing. I can't remember if it was
Well, I'm gonna have to re-roll that encounter.
if it was Gudrick or if it was. It certainly wasn't Shirunu. Shirunu was in that.
This is much more survivable. As soon as I can find them. Sorry. So I need you to roll for surprise, please, Bogdan.
Yep. So that's a
1d6,
D6.
Yes,
baby.
please. Don't get low numbers. Okay.
Actually, you
that's
know what?
cool.
You know what I've just thought of.
Mhm.
Isn't the second edition surprise done on a D8?
Don't know. Not worried.
Can't remember. Not worried.
Not worried about it at the moment. It hasn't really
Look into it another day.
Let's have a look. Rightio. So there's suddenly in amongst the brush, you sort of not surprised, but you're a tiny bit startled to see just trying to see if I can see. So you know what a bombardier beetle looks like?
Really?
No, because you do now. But a 4 foot long one. Holy shite is the word.
Kind of like a big stag beetle, aren't they?
No, stags are different.
I'm guessing that's the one that blows up.
No, but it does have a nasty thing to do. So the attack of that is that. So that's that number. Okay, so roll for initiative, please, Baldoon.
Oh, right.
Individual. It's got a 4. That's a good number. Let's look at its movement.
That's right. They spit.
Is that the right way to roll? I don't know.
Like having acid on your face?
Not sure. It's really weird. I'd roll a d10 and add the short sword a 3, and then the next one's a 3 on top. Oh no, it's all at one hit. Add 3 to. Okay, so 6. You're on a 6. That's done. Unfortunately, on a 4, it gets to go before you. So, what does this thing do, you say? Well, what it does is it gets to attack first. And it attacks with a spitting acid cloud attack, which it's just launched at you.
Nice.
And I just need to know what your armor class is, please.
6.
If you cut me off, I'm going to be very upset. Sorry?
It's a 6.
A 6. Looking for the table. Okay, that guy.
Oh, I've got 6 and /7. I don't know which ones.
6 in the front, which is what you want. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
so then it's 7, I think.
Okay, so it spits at you. And if I can actually type in the correct command, we might get somewhere. And it manages to miss you. But what you do manage to see is the results of the acid cloud hitting some piece of wood or something, because it does 9 points of damage to it, and it basically sort of dissolves it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're not terribly happy about this. What are you doing on a 6? Oh, sorry, I got it wrong, but it does 3d4, not 2d6. Oh, it's not at the hit roll.
It's a save, isn't it?
No, it's a damage per round any creature within range, and you're within range. So I'm going to have to make... This is how much damage you take. 5.
Okay.
And that's low.
Yep. And what you're doing, you're in this cloud of vapor that's really, really hurting you. And it's affecting everything within the cloud of vapor.
Just talking out of character here. Should I just kill it, or do I move? I move out of the vapor and then just kill it straight away. Is that what?
I just have a quick question for yourself in real life. If you were standing inside a cloud of acid, what the fuck would you do?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I move out of the acid, and then
Before you can do anything, sorry, it has an additional attack because the sound as it releases that has a 20% chance of stunning you.
Right. Okay.
So that stun, should I get 20% or less in the next roll, can last anywhere between 2 to 4 rounds, and you will.
And at 50 feet away, who the fuck's gonna hear that?
Yeah. And you are going to be taking 3d4 points of damage each round. Because stunned, you can't do bugger all.
Okay.
You can move half, I think. I'll call that. You're lucky. You're not stunned, so you've got full capability of moving like crap.
Okay, so I quickly move out of the acid storm, and then I attack it with my swords.
So you move out, move around, and try to attack it.
Yeah.
Because it's explosive damage and it's stuck to you, basically. Okay, make your roll. Both weapons at the same time. AC 4 and AC 9. So the first one hits. Damage 1d6, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
5 points of damage, and I'm just going to roll at 6 points. Give me a second. Okay. Well, you have managed to make it angrier.
Oh, great.
So we'll go for initiative. The rest of you guys can come in at the end of this initiative number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're aware of it then. So roll a d10. and add your speed factor of 3. So it's a 10, and I'm on a 6. Okay, it's not like what you've done. So what it now does, dear Lord, this thing's dangerous.
Could I have like calmed it, or I can't do that because it's not an
Not
animal, right?
anymore.
Not
Yeah.
No, I mean
anymore,
like
not after you pissed it
before
off.
I attacked it.
It's the one.
Maybe.
So now
That's
it will
why.
release
Yeah.
a fiery vapor,
Oh, for
similar
fuck's
to
sake.
like napalm. Same sort of damage. And it's a defensive. On being attacked, it releases this automatically sort of thing. So let's assume you're close enough to be able to attack that. 8 points of damage.
I
Holy
think that's
shit.
me.
What does that put you on?
Yeah, that's it. I got nothing.
What are you on?
0.
Okay, you can move at half, and that's about it. But you won't be able to move until. Well, no, you go next.
Yeah.
So do you want to start moving at half towards the group and get the hell away from it?
I'll ask the. Is
You
that
can't
a
ask
good
anyone.
idea?
You decide. It's your character.
Yeah. Okay. I'll move
How would you
towards the group.
react? And
Okay.
the
rightio.
best way of doing this is just going, how would you react in this situation?
Yeah, I'll just go towards the group
Okay.
and
Gasping
try
for
and
help.
sort of call out and.
Yep.
Yep.
The beetle will do
There's
what a
no
beetle
wrong
does and
answers
move
in this
away.
game.
Yeah. There's living answers and hurting answers and dying answers.
Yep. There's answers and team party kill,
Yeah.
which is all good.
Yeah. So
I
you
hit the green
just
slime with the flat of the blade.
managed to get back to the group. It doesn't seem to be following you.
Jeez.
And you lie down and you're in great pain and agony with burning liquid. That's sort of, it's not doing it every round, but it does do it. You're out of the acid,
Now,
so
so
that
they-
stopped.
And Wolga
Who's
walks up
the-
and
who's
stands
the
over you and goes,
17-year-old?
"Holy shit! What the fuck did you come across?"
I was about to say, who's the
I'll
17-year-old?
spend time healing him.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I turned to Vera. Vera, that is why we never split the party.
Right. So are you doing combat casting?
No. I'm doing the unless he's gonna die. I'm doing the spend some
Yeah.
time and make sure I do a
Yeah.
proper job of this.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got 8 minutes of agony, by the way, while he's doing
8 minutes
Nice.
later.
You have 8 hit points.
8.
Yep, 8 hit points.
Cool.
Because it didn't go way down, basically what you got left is some red patches on your skin which will eventually heal and not show anything.
Nice.
Sorry
so
about your
basically-
face, by the way.
Yeah.
I
If you-
can't do anything about that.
If it goes
By the way,
really,
magical healing
really low,
heals everything.
yeah, is when you start getting permanent damage.
Fuck, this
What-
group is
What was that?
savage.
Sorry, I missed that.
When you take a really big hit and it goes really low, you start taking permanent damage, and there will be effects that change your attributes to the detriment.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
basically,
Oh, wow.
you could
Really?
comment
Okay.
incidentally if you didn't hear it from Lincoln was, sorry about your face. I can't actually do anything about that.
Right.
So what would happen if I went below 0?
You'd
Would
be
I have
unconscious.
passed
You'd be
out?
unconscious, at which point you
Oh,
would
okay.
probably possibly lunch.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you fell below, if you're on -3 or greater, you'd start losing a hit point until you hit -10, in which case you'd die.
Oh, nice.
So you,
Unless I'm around,
yeah.
in which case I can
Yes.
generally poke and prod you into health.
So, folks, that is where I'm going to stop the recording tonight.